to this edition of the Money Mile. Joining me today is Radhika Gupta, one of the most dynamic leaders of the Indian mutual fund industry. She is the CEO at Edelweiss Asset Management. Thanks, Radhika. Great talking to you after many, many years. You've been a leader in the Balanced Advantage Fund category, and your scheme is also doing very well. But more than that, you've been a believer in this category in the sense that it helps people, and I think that's one of the things you've done with your product is that it helps to build this asset allocation automatically for people. Can you tell viewers about this whole Balanced Advantage Fund category a bit?
I think it's a fantastic category. As you said, I actually invest 70% of my own investments in our own Balanced Advantage Fund because I think it's the wholesome category. You have Balanced Advantage essentially puts money in equity and it puts money in debt and it moves around the money in equity and debt basis market conditions. Now, this is something that's very difficult for us to do as individuals because when we try to do it as individuals, our emotions come into play. The Balanced Advantage Fund does it on the basis of a formula or a model. So it's completely unemotional. It just takes a decision. And I think in the medium term, it gives you equity upside with downside protection. We run the fund, I think very differently from the way others do. The simplest analogy I can give you is that when markets are good and things are healthy, we try to keep our equity exposure high. When markets are poor and things are volatile, like they have been, in March especially, we try to keep our equity exposure low. In March, it was as low as 30%. Now it's been as high as 55, 60%. I think the simplest analogy for all of us who live in Mumbai or any big city in India is that when you're on a highway and the road is clear and the weather is nice, you pick up speed because circumstances let you. But when you're on a crowded city road and it's raining and it's, there are lots of potholes, then you slow down your speed because conditions don't let you drive that way. I think that's what Balanced Advantage Fund tries to do very simply. And if you look at sort of the 3-5 year kind of experience or even recently, when markets were down 25 odd percent, this fund will be down 7, 8, 9, 10%. And that's my point about staying power. It gives you the staying power to remain invested. And also in an upside, if markets are up 20%, you'll be up 15. So from my point of view, you really get enough of the best of both worlds.
Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much, Radhika, for joining me here and educating our viewers on these very, very important issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.